हरियाणा वाला जाट है वो कहता है मैं अलग हूँ और यूपी वाला जाट कहता है मैं भी अलग हूँ. And you can well imagine I must be about 8-9 years old, and we used to go around running to the streets trying to get windows shut down, put blankets onto the thing, switch off the lights. मेरी बहुत पिटाई हुई होगी. And my knuckles, they used to have you to build a thing called teamwork, which is very imperative. And I always thought while joining army, पढ़ना नहीं पड़ेगा. Bike is a bike, right?
Right.
I think I was always keen on riding a bike, and I will not say which one is my favorite, right? Because I have driven. My first bike was Yazdi, right? Yazdi had its own challenges, but I really loved the thump of Yazdi. That voice, the sound, it was a big kicker. So many thousands of different people who are bound together, right? So ये उंगली ऐसे ही है, सिंगल रहेगी तो टूट जाएगी, मुट्ठी बनेगी तो एक साथ रहेगी. This nobody tells him.
So, sir, we would like to start from your childhood. That how was your childhood, where you spent your early days in life, and how it shaped you in the thing that you are today.
So my childhood was a very common standard childhood of anybody of my time used to have. In the current time, a childhood is driven by mobile applications and online gaming and watching cartoons and videos. But our childhood was basically outdoors, and it was a very very balanced childhood of playing games outside. Starting, I played almost every little small possible game, which is the street games. From playing marbles to I'm not very sure you heard of a game of called Gilli Danda,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yeah.
To Kho,
Yes, sir.
cricket, hockey, uh, football. One was able to play almost every game, and we preferred to stay out rather than stay at home. We always wanted to go to the school because we knew that we'll get the games period or outdoor period there. But on the other side, I think which is very important is also to study. And fortunately for me, my family, my parents gave me opportunity to continue to read much more beyond what was in the syllabus of school. So I had books which were, I read my epics, Ramayana and Mahabharata very early. I may not have read or understood Gita at that stage of time, but surely we used to indulge in Amar Chitra Katha, which was, the patent of that point of time to learn what was happening in your cultural part of this thing. It was quite not very well planned to shape the mind, but that was the way children of our time possibly grew. Then we also read a lot of books on, for me, what started changing and shaping my mind was the books I read, articles, papers, or stuff I read on people like Chandrasekhar Azad, Ram Prasad Bismal, Sukhdev, Rajguru, Subhash Chandra Bose. They were my icons of that point of time, and I used to read. And every time I used to read about them and their activity and the way they fought for the country, for the liberation of our country, my hair used to rise on my nape, here. And I used to always imagine that when I'll grow up, I'll become like them to fight for my country and all. So that point of time, we never used to think about joining Army, Navy, Air Force, or something like that. So at a very young age, this feeling for patriotism was very, very natural, which came into mind. And then happened about 1971, when this war was being fought. I was in Gorakhpur. The Air Force base was in the near proximity, and
Yes, sir.
therefore we used to have a system called blackouts, right? And you can well imagine I must be about 8-9 years old, and we used to go around running to the streets trying to get windows shut down, put blankets onto the thing, switch off the lights, turn down the lamps, and stuff like that. And that got a great amount of energy into you, thinking that we can do all this, and we could see the planes flying overhead. And then suddenly we happened to see 1962 a movie called Hakikat. And I remember that, I will not say exactly in tears, but of course we were emotionally moved when we saw that movie. There's another iconic movie for me called Hindustan Ki Kasam. So you may not have heard about these movies, but these little things shaped my mind towards patriotism, nationalism, about Bharat, about love, affection, and respect for my tricolor, Tiranga, which became my this thing. So even now, when I listen to national anthem, or when I see the tricolor flying. Uh, I have this little current which goes down from my head right across my body along my spine. So age has not dulled what I learnt when I was a child.
So, as a kid, as you mentioned, planes used to fly over your house and Gorakhpur. So, as a kid, were you scared, nervous? What was your like? What did you think at that point of time?
I don't think so. We ever felt nervous because they were our planes in any case.
Yeah.
And as a child, you see again, it is how your parents shape you by talking about fear.
Yes.
So I think we were never told about fear. It was about your own planes flying overhead, and it was a great matter of
So, if
pride.
you could tell us a little bit about your parents or your father, how he
Yeah.
were
So
they
my
strict?
father was,
Yeah, were they strict?
yeah, he, parents of our age, unlike for your parents and all, we used to have a very huge distance between our parents, and mothers were more welcoming. So we were four brothers, sisters, and all. So we had kind of our own gang.
Yes.
Rather than getting into the father, you dialed your father only when you required the money for your fees or something like that, which was also very automated.
Yes, sir.
So they knew this is the time for fees, and they will go and give it. We were totally untouched from the issue of the finances and everything. Uh, they were always very, very strict and disciplinary. And,
So, were you a studious as a
no,
student?
I was not studious, I will say, but I was pretty smart to understand how much I should study to crack my marks, right? Because I was more an outdoor guy, and I want to read everything else than the syllabus. So time for a child is same 24 hours, right? So I was pretty smart to do what? I used to try and study that point of time that this is what will get me this much of a marks, and therefore I must study this much and these thing, and one is to be able to get those marks.
Yes.
So in our time, it was not never 99%. If you were cracking about 60%, coming about higher second division or first division, were very few people. So if you're in that mark, I think it was good. So I was able to crack till that level,
So,
and then I used to spend time reading all other novels and stuff like that.
any type of special memory आपके स्कूल से
School time से कोई
स्कूल टाइम में
special?
कोई ऐसी स्पेशल मेमोरी हो जो कभी नहीं भूल सकते?
हाँ, सो स्कूल टाइम की तो दो तीन मेमोरीज ऐसी हैं, दो माई हैंड राइटिंग इज़ वेरी पैथेटिक,
Handwriting.
Yeah, so I was studying in a school called Carmel School, and we had the nuns and teachers who were very, very strict teachers. मेरी बहुत पिटाई हुई होगी. And my knuckles, they used to have the bamboo canes. I still remember this old teacher called Stella Madam, and I don't remember many, but I surely remember her. Very strict, very warm, but very strict. And I used to get really cane on my this thing. और वो जो cane होती थी,
Yes, sir.
उसका एक edge was splintered edge, so that it used to really, it used to not break your bone, but it used to hurt a lot,
Yes.
right? But then I was just not able to improve my handwriting. Even now, I can't read my own handwriting. If I have written something within an hour's time, I can't understand what I have written. So that was one, I think, very interesting. And second was I broke my chin, I broke my leg. I have got multiple fractures all over my
If you
body.
remember the number.
Yeah, I think I've broken my arm twice. I've got a ankle injury. I've got a muscle burst in my leg. I got enough scratches all over my body, cuts.
So, which was your favorite
saying-
sport? Favorite sport? Like,
I had always loved
excelled in?
hockey, actually. Right, I used to play right in this thing, very tough sport. So I played till maybe about till 9th or 10th. Thereafter, 11th, 12th, and all. Then other interests took over, which and then space was not there, time was not there. Hockey, not very many people want to play because cricket is much more easier to play.
yes, sir.
And I was not much into cricket, but I could play cricket. Like I could bat well and ball pretty well. I'm medium pacer. So
So do you think it overall helped you in shaping your character?
yeah, of course, sports does. Sports allows you to build a thing called teamwork, which is very imperative. And more importantly, it is also about taking initiative, step out of your comfort zone and do stuff which you generally will not do
Yes, sir.
when you're sitting alone, right? To help out others. And without passing, let's say in hockey, in cricket you can still be individualistic. You can be a
Yeah.
good bowler, you can be a good wicketkeeper,
Yeah, a batter.
yeah, or a batter. But in hockey, you may be damn good, but if you don't have a great team, you can't win. You need to pass. Otherwise, you'll be overwhelmed. So that teaches you teamwork a lot. Then, of course, I grew up. I used to play as an officer. I used to be playing
So
basketball and other games and all.
how many attempts it took for you to like?
Oh
It's
yeah,
a question asked by all the defense aspirants to the senior officers. How many attempts it took?
And sir, in addition to it, were your parents involved in
no. My parents never wanted me to join army. Right?
Never?
Yeah, never. Not even once. In fact, till the time I was actually joining NDA, my dad tried to dissuade me from joining because, frankly, his view was that I should become a doctor. Right? It's the noblest of profession. But then I was pretty adamant because I never thought of any other life than army. Right? I was pretty good in studies, so written was not a tough thing to crack. But then I think I was too cocky in my SSB first time when I went. I thought I'm the God's own gift to the country, and because you always thought patriotic. I was not looking for a career or a job. I was going for passion. So आपको लगता नहीं है when you're 16, 17 years old, you think you're the top rag shit which is possible in the world, and therefore everybody's gonna pick you up. So while I cracked my written examination, not that it was a great amount of hard work, it was not hard work just prior to the examination. What was my advantage? As I told you, I was always into reading. I used to read a variety of books, read current affairs. I used to always read newspapers in the morning, starting from my 8th, 9th onwards. Without my newspaper, life was never complete. So, geopolitics, general knowledge was always in my pocket. Then I used to always practice logic. So if you opened Competition Success Review or
Yes,
Competition
sir.
Master,
Yeah.
there used to be all these games and all. So that was very important for me. I used to play a lot of Scrabble and other stuff. So it built up something which was quite possibly in my time the examinations of written were on general knowledge, maths, logic, and English and all. So it was much more easier for me to crack. I used to finish my exam in half the time which was given. So I think it's 2 hours or something, or so my paper is to finish about an hour's time. I used to look at the question and the answers to just, scream at me, tick me, tick me, tick me,
So basically, you were not studious, but you were disciplined.
Yeah, I was disciplined. And I always used logic for everything. I cannot mug. Even now, I cannot mug. I cannot remember my rote, but I need to understand the concept behind. The moment you understand the concept, you know the processes, and the processes move very fast in your mind. It's like digital work, like a computer thereafter it works. But the challenge came was in SSB, and twice I flunked in SSB. So the first time I went, I was very, very cocky, and I thought, ये तो सब हो जाएगा. Plus, I was physically quite fit, so I always thought that running में भी हो जाएगा, इसमें भी हो
today
जाएगा.
Sir, आज भी sir, you are
हाँ,
काफी fit sir.
नहीं पता नहीं. But that time I was pretty okay. But the fact of the matter is that I think the defense forces require something else beyond cockiness, beyond education, beyond. They look for some other qualities, maybe. I think a balance in character also important to say that. While you may be a great teamwork man, but you need to also allow others to speak. So like first time when I went, I used to be always raising hand, talking, ye wo, not giving time to others. Second time I possibly became more disciplined, but yet not crack. But the third time when I was going, I was a year more mature.
Right.
Right? You
You
understand?
learned-
Yeah.
learned with the process.
I will say yes, I did learn from the process, but maybe years also add into some degree of sense of balance and age also. So what you are at 15, you are not at 16. You become much more pragmatic in life and all.
Yes, sir.
And that excitement level was slightly dampened when I went the third time, and I was more possibly cognizant that twice I have not made it, I may not make it third time also as well, and I should not take it badly. First time I really took very badly. Second time I was still okay. Third time, if I had not made it, I would have not taken it badly at all. I would have known that maybe I don't have what is required by these defense forces, and it is very difficult to change our uh, inner character to fit that bill.
So do you still remember the SSB and your chest number?
Yeah, I think it was, chest number was 25, if I'm not wrong. No, I don't remember it, frankly. To be truthful, I saw that picture one of my course mates sent me only just about a week back,
Okay.
right? That is
Yeah.
the picture, hota na?
Yeah. That's right.
So we were 4 of us, I think, out of 30 who made it for the SSP in that
So
thing.
before joining, like after joining the academy, was there any habit of yours or any bad habit which unintentionally changed after joining the academy?
Yeah, there were a number of bad habits, you know.
Which you realize that ये हो गया मतलब कैसे हुआ you
Yeah.
know, but हो गया.
So, you know, one thing which was very clear that I was, while I used to love everything else to read, syllabus was not what I loved, right? I always thought while joining army, पढ़ना नहीं पड़ेगा.
ये तो सर अभी भी
वो
काफी
इतना बड़ा मिसकंसेप्शन था, वो पहले 6 महीने के अंदर टूट के बिखर बिखर गया. And I went with full, okay, the other challenge is, you know, as I told you that you look at passing marks. So in your system in passing marks, when you passed, you got 50%, 60% marks, okay. But now suddenly we shifted to a grading system, which is a CGPA system.
Yes sir.
And that works totally differently. You may get 90% or 80% in let's say in language, or let's say in geography, but in maths if you get 40%, that plays very hell with your CGPA.
Yes sir.
And my first term, my first semester, my CGPA was just barely about touching 2. And the other thing which I was not aware was that if your CGPA is 2, then to climb back is a darn struggle.
It was.
So it was very, very difficult for me to thereafter catch up. And in academy, they are extremely strict about your academics, right? So that was one. So I think that was the first lesson which I learned that time, that I need to continue to focus on my professional studies, which are very, very important because that matters.
So what CGPA did you pass with?
Oh, I passed out not. I will not like to share.
All right sir.
Yeah.
सर कोई स्पेशल मेमोरी अकेडमी से रिलेटेड या फिर
अकेडमी में तो
fun-
बहुत मेमोरीज हैं.
सर
ऐसा कुछ जो
आपके साथ डिफरेंट हुआ होगा जो आपको लगता नहीं किसी और के साथ हुआ.
मेरे साथ हुआ होगा. Okay, let me just share one thing that a lot of people, and this is for everybody who wants to join not only army, but wants to shift, will face in his life in college or in the life wherever they go away from the comfort zone. The adjustment period is tough, right? And that period you need to be focused to ensure that you're able to transit through. Persevere, right? An adjustment period takes sometimes, for some people, takes no days. But for me, it took nearly about 9 months to transit. Because I was more freedom-loving person. As I told you, outdoor, playing games, study on your own time, रात को late novels पढ़ना. I lived life on my own terms. But when you join an organization, you need to start living life to their terms. It is not your term at all, which was a major challenge in terms of shifting. The second was that while I was fit to play hockey or a sport, right, physical fitness which is required for military is totally different. And there was a certain degree of cockiness, in your mind is to, that logic doesn't work on the ground.
Yes sir.
Logic was that I can run this 100 meter this fast, multiply it by 100 times, and I can do my cross country run. ऐसे ही भागता रहूँगा और हो जाएगा.
हो जाएगा.
ठीक है, थोड़ा कम भाग लूँगा. And when you go out, so I didn't practice for my first cross country run in first term. And actually in my heart I broke when I was somewhere in the last of my course in this thing. So slowly, academy tells you, your training tells you that what are your weaknesses and where are challenges. So I was not a perfect guy who got selected.
Yes, sir.
And then I realized that they were my niggles, because of which, possibly rightly so, I was not selected the first two times. They continued. So slowly those niggles went away over a period of time by training. So this cockiness went.
Yeah.
I realized that you need to practice, practice, practice to be perfect. You can't get away by putting more hard work on whatever you have to achieve. So this transition took place in the academy. And therefore in the second term, third term, slowly I focused on my physical in terms of, because running long distance is totally different from running short distance. Swimming long distance is totally different from running swimming short distance.
Right.
Playing a sport, competitive sport, is totally different on than just playing a sport onto the field for fun's sake. So the seriousness part to achieve whatever mission objective you have to achieve start coming in. So that is a major transition which took place, right? And this is the lesson for every youth, that you will need to work hard to achieve what you want. It will still not come your way because everybody is also competing for the same space, right? So therefore, if you want to achieve, you need to put that many hours extra, right? Luck is important. Luck may have 95% role to play, but that 5% you need to work. You need to actually be there to be able to luck to play for you. अगर आप वहाँ नहीं हैं तो आपको luck कुछ नहीं कर सकता, right? So you need to work hard this week for whatever you achieve. Okay, coming to the interesting part. Okay, let me just yeah. So you imagine I'm talking my first term, second term, when I'm trying to pick up pace in terms of physical facet. When you join the academy from a civil street, you are there along with the cadets who come from military schools and Sainik schools and all. They are rock solid fit, Rimkolians and all, RIMC. They are awesomely, they have been doing that for 7 years. They have got no
Since
fat on their,
childhood,
since childhood.
still,
They
yeah.
are all muscles. They're expert in either somebody expert in boxing or volleyball or football. They have already gone through the structured environment. And now for you as a public school or central school child to come and transit and get into is slightly a challenge. But it happens eventually to everybody. And my name to fame was that somewhere around second term end or third term onwards, I was able to catch up on my physical aspect, right? And there is a thing called which is called camps, right? And those camps are very tough camps. Camps are
The jungle camps.
the jungle camps, which are about denial, testing your capabilities, capacity to
honest.
survive. How do you live in with a team? You have to work as a team. You have to carry a team. So when you're carrying out a Josh run thing, which is the run back after the camps have got over, you may come back as number one as an individual, but if one of you has not come back in time, it goes negative against you. So the team has to come, and the team needs to, somebody has to navigate, somebody has to carry extra load, and slowly I was able to become a stud that I was called as to be, as to pick much more than an average of people used to carry. And I used to love those run backs, and I used to love navigating those run backs. So that resilience and the stamina came over a period of time.
So why Army? Why not Air Force or Navy?
Yeah, so I think both are very good, right? But see again, what you read while growing years makes so much of difference in your what you want to achieve. So I read everything about army in Second World War. Like all the leaders were from army, all the campaigns were army first campaigns. So the Air Force and Navy came just about as a side shows in all these campaigns.
Yes.
So they're tough, all right. So the brutal eyeball to eyeball contact fighting was done by army. What does a young child is excited about?
Right.
He's not excited about you sailed and thereafter you fired a gun from a distance and all. Every time you read, I used to read Commando comics, and Commando comics was all about soldiers in the trench,
Fighting.
fighting, engaging with, bayoneting each other.
Yes.
And maybe that was very exciting to me. And somehow that remained, it continues to remain. In fact, we are just traveling and talking to each other, and I was telling Chita that today we are just talking about some counter-terrorist operation, agar samne terrorist aa jaye, and my eyes sparkled.
Yeah.
So
Even
smiled.
at,
Sir actually smiled.
yeah, and I know my eyes were sparkling. So the moment, even today, if I am put to where my life is at risk, and flash of the second may decide you're going to live now or then, it gives not fear but an excitement. So when you grow on that material in your life, then it's very difficult to start. So even for academy, when you go for SSB,
Yes, sir.
in our time, I don't know how it is now. So first time they give you the TD allowance or something,
Yeah.
So if you have applied for army, the second time, a lot of people shift to Navy or Air Force,
Yes, sir.
because if you change the stream, you get the second time TD and all. But if you don't, and you again go for army, then you don't. I didn't change. I went for all three, and I'm sure I would not join anything else if I not got army. It was always army for me. It was always in army, infantry. Infantry is the one which is blood and gore, right? It is the one which looks into the eye of the enemy, and you need to actually know that you're going to be killed or you're going to kill.
Yeah.
So that is my way of
So
living life.
in the academy, after you pass out, before you pass out from IIM, there are three preferences given. What were
Yeah,
your three
my preferences were all infantry.
But which
Right.
regiment?
So yeah, actually, you see, in today people are much aware. You guys are totally aware. My first, there are 9 blocks in that. 3 is in which you can opt for 1 combat arm
Yes.
and 2 services, or 2 combat arm and 1 services. So in my form, I had filled the 3 commandos, 1, 9 and 10 were the only commando units as my first choices, first 3. The second and the third, in this I had filled infantry. And I remember that I was hauled up by the officer in charge who was to collect this thing, that you spoilt this thing. I said, I'm not going to change, because it was compulsory for you to add 1 service. Service means that you have to go to ASC ordinance, which are enabling structures. I was very clear that I don't want to join anything else but infantry, right? And I had not filled Sikalai in that. I am from Sikalai.
Yes.
It was not because of, I did not know. I just filled any regiment which came to my mind in those things. Sikalai I also did not fill because my instructor, my platoon commander,
Yes, sir.
who was extremely fond of me, was from Sikalai.
Okay.
It was more to tell him and tell myself that I am not filling Sikalai, so that you should not look, maska nahi marte. ठीक है? So somewhere I was also, even now I am pretty conscious that people should not mistake my actions that I am trying to pander to somebody, right? Which is something wrong, right? It doesn't make a difference. I could have filled, but he was extremely fond of me, right? And he possibly, so I had got my option to go to para commandos, but he ensured that the vacancy never came, and I went to Sikalai, and he wanted me to go to his own battalion, but there was no vacancy at that point of time. But I am very lucky that I went to 9, which is possibly the best battalion in the country or the world.
Sir, what's so special about 9th Sikh Battalion?
9 Sikalai is not the top of the notch unit, but is also not very bad, right? It's just an average unit which performs all possible duties which is given to them or which is required. So our soldiers are not fantabulous in terms of they're run of the mill, and I will rather prefer to have run of the mill around me rather than a top performer who may fail in other fields. So my battalion can achieve results in all environments, not in, it may succeed in one and fail in another. So it's got resilience,
Yes, sir.
right? It may not run very fast, and then collapse. But it'll continue to rain and keep on
Keep
achieving
running.
it. So that is what is more important. You don't have to be outstanding in your field, but you need to be good in your field. So my battalion is a good battalion.
Sir,
Right. I will trust my battalion to achieve anything which is given to them.
yes. So, when you joined your unit, 9 like, as a second lieutenant, what was the first day like?
Oh, it was what do you call interesting in a sense that I got a reception which was very welcoming, right, respectful, and thereafter I was given my rundown that how I need to adapt, and straight away I was put into a cadre with the soldiers, and I had to nearly live life along with the soldiers. So we have a tradition in our battalion that when you join the unit, you need to spend about 6 weeks and more. You know, it all depends. Maybe 3 months, maybe 6 weeks, but minimum 6 weeks. The soldiers to understand how the life of a soldier is, how does it impact. So I did give my sentry duties in the quarter guard or the post. I went through all the rigmarole which goes for a soldier's job, from the lowest to quote NCO to magazine in charge, everything to understand how the forms are filled, how the duties are checked. So it took nearly about a month and a half to be put through the process to start becoming and being treated like an officer. While the soldiers respected you as an officer, but in the shift, we were always called as a lieutenant, as a mister. You are never addressed as second lieutenant. So second lieutenant is only a mister because you are not yet fit enough to be called as an officer till the time you actually prove your worth. So when you go through the runs, I realized that our my soldiers are extremely tough. So I was pretty tough from academy in running and everything, but those chaps are much more tougher. And for Sikalai, if you aren't physically tough, you aren't a great officer, right?
So there's one thing that we have seen on internet, you biking, riding bikes and stuff. So
So
ये
आपको-
अकेडमी से पहले इंटरेस्ट था आपके पास या फिर आप बाइक्स में इंटरेस्ट बाद में आया अकेडमी का?
And so, one more thing, sir. Royal Enfield or Honda or Java or ESD? Which one is your favorite?
Yeah, so you know, bike is a bike,
So,
right?
Right.
I think I was always keen on riding a bike, and I will not say which one is my favorite, right? Because I have driven, my first bike was Yazdi,
yes.
right? Yazdi had its own challenges, but I really loved the thump of Yazdi. That voice, the sound, you know, it was a big kicker. And the second bike was Kawasaki Bajaj, which was extremely fast, furious.
Yeah.
Uh,
Japanese engine.
yeah, it will just pick up from 0 to 60 in seconds,
Yes.
right? So that was my next bike. Then I have driven Bullet, Royal Enfield, variety of models. My son has got a Royal Enfield, which I still drive whenever he allows me to ride it. I have also driven Java as well. So, frankly, if you ask me, for me, bike is a bike. I will love to sit on a bike at any point of time than sitting in a car, right? Because it gives you a freedom to. It has got a different utopia,
Yeah. The feeling.
right? A different feeling. Abhi bhi, when I drive my bike, you sit like this and you hold it.
So, have you
It
gone
is-
to some ranges like Ladakh?
Yeah, yeah.
Or like
Driven. In fact, I don't know, you have seen a very video and shots which are there on the net,
Yes, sir.
in which I have, as a corps commander,
Yes, sir.
my army
Yes, sir.
commander was there. There were other two commanders. We drove right till Daras,
Yes, sir. We have seen.
and even till the day of retirement, I've been driving bike. In as a lieutenant general, even as a corps commander, I used to go to my office on my bike. Then I used to, when I was the commandant of Army War College, I used to go to office, come back on the bike. It was only into the formal functions when I had to look different, behave different.
Yeah.
I used to travel in a car or something, but even car, I love to drive myself. So I prefer to not sit in a staff car, but sit in a Scorpio, which I will drive myself. In operations, even as a corps commander, going to the posts, jungles, anywhere, I always drove. Very rarely I allowed the driver to drive. a bulletproof vehicle which is very heavy, difficult to drive on a snow, on ice, on landslide areas. Every time I have driven myself, right? I'm fond of driving.
तो सर जैसे आपकी थी सर्विस कश्मीर में ऑलरेडी रही है एज अ कोर कमांडर एज यंग ऑफिसर इन ऑल द स्टेजेस ऑफ योर लाइफ तो सर वन क्वेश्चन इज दैट ड्यूरिंग एन एक्टिव ऑपरेशन एक सिविलियन की सेफ्टी को इंश्योर कैसे की जाती है
That is the difference between Indian Army and the world all over. Right? For us, losing an innocent life is a big no. Right? Let's say in an operation, even if the terrorists have fired on a civilian, right, and you have a loss of a civilian, it is not taken very rightly. Not only by the hierarchy, even by the soldiers, right? So a lot of time people feel that वो जवान को बताना पड़ता है. Our soldiers are pretty perceptive about this thing, but I think it's all about culture. Our Sanatan Dharma, our Bharat culture is about respecting life of animals, of wildlife, or for human beings altogether. I think it comes very naturally to us. So we take measures to ensure that we hold fire till the time all civilians are taken out. At times, the terrorists take civilians as hostages inside. Even in that case, we try and ensure that the civilians are taken out of it. We would let go of a terrorist rather than let a civilian die in a crossfire. That is the difference between us and anywhere else in the world. They will not let the terrorists go, they may have collateral damages. In fact, if you look at what is happening in Balochistan or in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa or wherever, the Pakistan army is bombing the people out.
Yeah.
They are using artillery shells, they are using guns and everything, and they are just bombing them out. They don't care.
Sir, you have also served in RR. So we would like to know what is RR and why it is different from other units.
It is the bestest organization of our country ever created. And I say created country. You may look at SF, you may look at commando battalions, you may look at any other system. Rashtriya Rifle is something very, very unique. The transition, मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ ना कि जब वो राष्ट्रीय राइफल वाले को पता होता है कि यहाँ पे देश का दुश्मन है, उसकी आँख के अंदर खून अलग किस्म का हो जाता है, उसकी चाल में फ़र्क हो जाती है बिल्कुल. एक वो शेर होता है ना, चीता, राष्ट्रीय राइफल का एक जवान एक चीते और शेर का वार हो जाता है. आई एम एक्सट्रीमली प्राउड that I was with Rashtriya Rifle. I have commanded them at variety of ranks, right? आप operations देखो, they know the drills. वही जवान है, यही जवान जब राष्ट्रीय राइफल से निकल के अपनी पलटन में जाता है,
Right.
वो चेंज हो जाता है because that is how the culture changes. So Rashtriya Rifle is about a culture, about the ethos, right? Protect civilians, kill terrorists. That's it. उनको दो चीज़ों के अलावा कुछ, उनका 0 और 1 यही है, ठीक है. दैट डिजिटल फॉर्मेटिंग इज 0 1, किल टेररिस्ट, प्रोटेक्ट सिविलियन, दैट्स इट. और उनको नशा होता है. रात को आप 12 बजे बता दो, 2 बजे बता दो, 6 दिन लगा दो, 1 महीना लगा दो, मगर उसको पता है कि यहाँ पर अगर है तो वो पेशेंटली वेट करता रहेगा फॉर द ऑपॉर्चुनिटी टू गेट अ टू किल अ टेररिस्ट. दैट्स व्हाट राष्ट्रीय राइफल इज.
So, what is your analysis of youth radicalization and the brainwashing which happens in Kashmir?
Yeah, so I will not talk of, let's say, why should I talk of Kashmir? Youth radicalization happens all over the world,
So,
right?
yes, sir.
That is how countries, isms, radicals control people. To radicalize a 40-year-old, 35-year-old is very difficult.
Yes.
You can only radicalize him by killing something very, very close to him. And out of 1,000, you can still, that chap will still reconcile. The easiest meat today in the world to be radicalized is a child who is about 13 to 14 years old and goes on to the age bracket of about 20, 25. Because mind is nascent, a youth believes in utopia, it starts believing this is the perfect world, ऐसे होना चाहिए, there should be no hierarchy, हम सब बराबर हैं. But unfortunately, the world lives on hierarchy. That is how control and order are there. And therefore, you can use either religion, you can use communism, you can use capitalism, you can use any system to shape the mind of a youth, right? In Kashmir, it came about on two tiers of radicalization. One was about through religion, that the religion is supreme, different. Uh, there is a thing called Ummah. We need to be with that. And oh, by the way, the entire world is anti the religion which you are following, and therefore we need to be strong together. So nobody tells them that the maximum killing is being done by people of the same religion rather than the rest of the world, right? So one is that nobody, you see, that is how the shaping of the mind is done. Then second, for Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir was that you are unique, totally different, and therefore you need to live differently, right? Nobody is telling them that India belongs to so many thousands of different people who are bound together, right? So ये उंगली ऐसे ही है, सिंगल रहेगी तो टूट जाएगी, मुट्ठी बनेगी तो एक साथ रहेगी. This nobody tells them. So when you keep on telling you look fairer, you look speak differently, you are living into a different area, तुम्हारी तो linkages पैदाइश सेंट्रल एशियन रिपब्लिक से है, तो ये सारी जो चीज़ें हैं जब आप एक आदमी के दिमाग में डालते हो, उसको एक एक्सेप्शनल अलग से बता देते हो, ठीक है? तो हर जगह पे यहाँ पे जो जाट, हरियाणा वाला जाट है वो कहता है मैं अलग हूँ, और यूपी वाला जाट कहता है मैं भी अलग हूँ. So there's all right within the community. Everybody should believe in their cultural uniqueness and strength, and you know that you are elitist in your this. You're totally different. But then we are all small, little powerful entities in the large thing called Mother India or Bharat,
Yes.
and that is what we must expect. And if you start going alone, you will be very quickly broken and subsumed, and that is what has happened to our country. Kashmir was a most powerful nation per se sometime back. If you've not heard of Lalitaditya or Karakotra regimes, you know, they were the most powerful from Bengal, touching Bengal till Central Asian Republic. This kings were controlling that spans of one of the largest expanse of territory, right? So where have they gone? Because they've lost something based on narratives which have been run onto them for a long time. So that radicalization used to happen by education, by word of mouth, through variety of system. But today, unfortunately, the radicalization happening on the tech threshold, which is on social media domain, and which is much more difficult to control and manage.
So you were commissioned as a second lieutenant. So now that rank doesn't exist in the army, but in the navy it does. So what is the role and what is the purpose of a second lieutenant, and why is it still in the navy but not in the army?
Well, these are all, I will rather not get into the nuances of it, but the fact is that uh, it's all about aspirations. It's about pay packets, it's about drawing youth to join army and all, you know. There are things, then there's a equivalence with the civil bureaucracy and stuff. There's a whole complex structure, right? But to just summarize and say that what uh, the second lieutenant thing got subsumed in terms of giving certain degree of what do you call in IMA, just before passing out you get enough money to sustain yourself. So it's called something
Stipend?
stipend, yeah. So it was to remove that step straight away, that rank was taken out, right?
Sir, you would like to know of a complex operation that happened under you.
And so if you got any battle wounds from it, which was the most intense operation of your entire
No,
life?
I didn't have any battle wounds, touch wood.
So
I'm
any
lucky.
intense operation you were in?
Yeah, I've been in a number of intense operations, but just quickly talk of one, which I think is I've often referred to, is when we lost our own CO actually in operation, and we were opening the road. I had to establish a post called Sirama in South Kashmir, which is still there. It was established somewhere in 1990, May 1990, and my commanding officer had come to deliver defense stores and all, and to meet the men of my company and you know
Yes.
motivate them,
Yeah.
because 95 was one of the most intense time for Jammu and Kashmir, where a lot of casualties were also taking place from army, and the number of foreign terrorists were possibly one of the highest at that point of time. Virtually, they were matching in terms of operational caliber in weapons. They had far more bigger weapons and better weapons than even the Indian Army in terms. While we had the guns, which you could not employ against this thing, but in terms of rifle and small arms weapon, they were far more better equipped and trained. But because you see, conventional war fighting has got different role. But when you get into a counter-terrorist and counter-insurgency operation, your role, equipment policy has to shift, and the training totally changes. So that was a time when RR was just being about raised and stuff like that was happening, and my battalion was there. So this, when they were returning back and we were carrying out the road opening exercise, because this road was about 15, 16 kilometers long, and over 3 to 4 years, they had put in a lot of IDs inside the ground, and you could not make out from the track, which was not a metal track, it was a kacha track road, that IDs were inside or not. And we didn't have adequate metal detectors. And there was a place where I actually stood and told my own cadet, I was instructor in NDA, my own cadet was that time Second Lieutenant Parminder Singh Arora was there. He's today a brigadier. And Captain, that time there's a Lieutenant Navratan, who's now today Colonel Navratan, retired. Both were there along with my men, and I told them this is the place where there's a high possibility of ID. इसको ठीक से check करना है, and I moved with my balance of the party to continue to detail soldiers ahead to clear the road. And within about 5 or 6 minutes or 10 minutes, I would have moved. There was a loud bang blast which took place. My CO, who was to come start at 10 o'clock, had started slightly early. And as he was moving with the QRT, he did not actually require truly an ROP, but an ID was initiated. And when I looked back, I saw my CO's vehicle going up in the air, and we had 5 dead in that vehicle. My commanding officer, driver, his radio operator, his buddy, and one more chap was killed in that thing. And then that is the time the decision dilemma comes to evacuate the dead whom you knew that they were dead.
Yeah.
Right? To continue to open the road because the convoy had still to process, or to start looking at the terrorist who has possibly initiated it. Right?
It was a tough decision.
So when one took all the calls what we had to take at that point of time, but that always will remember. There are multiple other operations, but this was one very, very negative operation which happened, and I think is very close to my heart. Right.
So now that we are talking about wars, so
Let me talk about one positive operation.
So
Okay. I was a GOC Kilo Force.
Yes, sir.
There's a village called Varura. There's an operation going on in that location. And while it was a 2 days operation. I had already been there once in the morning, but I decided to go again in the evening. And I reached, they had a quadcopter in place. They had already killed 3 terrorists. One was still left. And he was a very, very old terrorist. He was a local terrorist of same village. And it was becoming very difficult to take him out because he was very smart. Like he had already broken a cordon 3 times before, right? Old guy, and I luckily landed up at the same time, and they were about to get the quadcopter down. And I said, "यार ये तुम भी नीचे लेके आओगे? यही वो time है वो निकलेगा because it was just about 4:30 or 5:30 का time था, because he knows that if he is not able to get out now, he will be killed." So therefore we had a police quadcopter which was immediately pressed into service, and we put but during the change period, that chap broke the cordon, and he was so good that they had breached the fence of the house where he was hiding. He jumped over the same breach. He jumped over the vehicle in which there were 3 soldiers sitting, but they were not able to fire because he fired a burst on them. He threw a grenade.
Okay.
So the moment the grenade came, you duck.
Yes, sir.
And that is the time this chap jumped over the vehicle. Then he went to the second layer of the cordon, in which there was a vehicle in which he fired from his weapon, and thereafter he snuck below the vehicle and got across to the
बहुत
other
कुछ करा
side.
मतलब उसने
बहुत with an
बहुत try
animals,
करा उसने
and
यार.
we were watching everything,
Yeah.
right? And then there was a nala which he had to cross. He went towards the nala, realized if he crosses, he'll be exposed. And then suddenly he decided to turn where we are standing, right? Now, how I realized that he's coming, I was watching on the screen, right? Before this thing, I could see there were police chaps with me. There was my own QRT, and suddenly you saw people now moving away to safety,
Yeah.
right?
कुछ
I
हो
could
रहा है
sense,
मतलब, yeah.
and you're watching that, and I was smiling. But what happens is that the experience,
Yeah. You
how
know what
far,
will
how
happen.
much it can go. And I was smiling, and there's a very brave young officer by name of, okay, I'll not take his name. It's there in this book,
Okay.
right? So this young officer that was not his company or what. He had come from a different company. He was reserve, and I say, भाई बाहर निकलो, ठीक है इसको before he enters. So I'll not use the word. You'll have to read the book.
Yeah.
It's actually the chapter starts from there.
So,
And that young boy had already done a number of operations before his surname starts with G. I'm very fond of him, VG. And he just steps across with the buddy and face off. In the book, he said 10 meters, but it's actually, I know, I was watching from the camera, 5 meters. Face to face, he fired, and no protection. He just opened the door, went out. Just a month before, in a similar operation, one brigadier had got injured. One DIG, Amit Kumar, was grievously injured.
yes, sir.
And there
I
were
remember.
one or two soldiers who had died in this operation in the similar manner.
Yes, sir.
But I don't know why did not I rush or duck. Was it experience in play because I knew what will happen? Or was my trust in VG was immense? I knew he's there, nothing will happen to
So
me.
I think both, a bit of both.
So this guy steps out. So it was very close, There's just a wall between me and the terrorist and a company commander,
Yeah.
young officer with just about, I think 7-8 years service. Right.
So how does like sister organizations as in army, BSF, CRPF, JNK पुलिस, ये सब एक साथ एक सिनर्जी में एक ऑपरेशन में ऑपरेट कैसे करते हैं? ऑन ग्राउंड क्या होता है? जब ऑन ग्राउंड आप जाएंगे तो उधर क्या होगा? कैसे क्या?
देखो ये जो सिनर्जी है ये चेंज होती रहती है लीडरशिप और लीडरशिप के साथ. सिनर्जी तो लीडरशिप से होती है ना.
Yes.
जवान वही होता है, ठीक है.
हाँ जी.
जवान वैसे ही करेगा जब लीडरशिप होगी. तो बट आई कैन ओनली टॉक ऑफ माई टाइम.
Yes, sir.
I had a fantastic amount of synergy because, frankly, I never believed in the color of the uniform. I believe that if you are wearing a belt, we are one team, right? And second is, one also insisted, जिसका काम उसी को साजे, ठीक है? The best person for the best job. So there were very critical operations in which I did not use RR, I used special forces, right? Because that is where they were experts.
Yes, sir.
There were black operations in which I had to induct people deep into the jungles to kill the top guy who actually did Pulwama. The number 1 and 2
Yes, sir.
were killed in a jungle operation, for which for 3 days the SF in rains, they climbed they walked for about 6 to 7 kilometers from 3 different sides. Operation got over within a minute. The terrorists did not realize when the SF came over their head and fired. They went for the gun and they were neutralized in the morning at about 6:30. But the process which these chaps SF went, nobody else could have achieved. So the Bon Army, the synergy can only come when you put the right person for the right job, right? And you expect them to perform. If anybody got injured, CRPF, BSF, police, my call straight away went to their top leadership. कैसे बंदे हैं, बहुत critical है, don't worry, I'm sending my chopper to pull them out. So instead of them seeking help,
You used to give help.
I used to give help. So the soldiers of the CRPF, those officers of CRPF or BSF, or at the junior level, most of them are still in touch with me because they know that I don't know if you've seen that video, Niranjan wala video,
Yes,
right?
sir. Everyone has seen it.
Niranjan is a CRPF boy.
Yes.
I had no business. He should have gone to civil this thing. But the moment that incident happened, and I knew because I had a intelligence system which was much more sharper, focus from civil, police. Everybody used to tell me. I used to know exactly kya hua. And I knew he's very critical. The best support, life support, can be given by the base hospital. And I reached out to the police and I told CRPF, उसको मेरे पास भेजो, वो बच जाएगा मेरे पास. And he was there, 92 BH, he survived. So was the case with police and everybody. I think when the top leadership meets,
Everything.
right. So I had a great team of BSF, CRPF and police. We worked together in great amounts of synergy and delivered what we had to deliver.
सर आपने अपने टेन्योर में बहुत ज़्यादा टेंस सिचुएशन देखी होंगी, तो ऐसी टेंस सिचुएशन में कैसे कामली रहकर डिसीजन लें और राइट डिसीजन लें?
एंड सर एज अ कोर कमांडर आप इतने सीनियर पोजीशन पे हैं, तो सर आप क्या क्या एक चीज़ें सोचते थे एक डिसीजन लेने से पहले, क्योंकि सर आपकी डिसीजन से बहुत चीज़ें इफेक्ट होती थी कश्मीर में.
Yeah, so the good part of my this thing was that I had served so many tenures.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I had not served only in one type of tenure कि मैंने सिर्फ CICT देखा था.
राइट.
Yes, sir.
मैंने लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल पे ऑपरेशन देखा, फिर मैंने कारगिल की वॉर देखी. इन अ सेंस आई वाज अ स्टाफ ऑफिसर ड्यूरिंग द कारगिल वॉर. आई वाज इन द हिंटरलैंड ऑपरेशंस, वन वाज कंपनी कमांडर. सो plus I was very fond of interacting with the civilian and talking to variety of belt forces also. CRPF के साथ बात कर रहे हो, BSF से कर रहे हो, पुलिस से बात कर रहे हो. सो आपके पास में एक जो नॉलेज अर्जित होता है, एक्सपीरियंस अर्जित होता है, वो आपको बड़ा एक ऑटोमेटेड सिस्टम रिस्पॉन्स का हो जाता है. सो यू डोंट एक्चुअली हैव टू बिफोर एक्चुअली अ सिचुएशन एमर्जेस, यू नो
You know.
ये होने वाला है. एक तरीका होता है उसको चलने दो, बट आई डोंट बिलीव इन इट. सो व्हेन आई से ना, आई लव टू ड्राइव माई सेल्फ.
Yes.
ठीक है. सो लॉट ऑफ पीपल यूज्ड टू फील यार ये कंट्रोल बहुत ज़्यादा करता है, बट आई यूज्ड टू लुक एट इट कि आई डोंट वांट टू लूज मैन.
Yeah.
So my claim to fame is that I lost very few men on my watch, right?
Yes.
But we also killed the largest number of terrorists on my watch.
Yes, sir.
We also achieved a lot of things on the line of control, and also we were able to do so many other things with the civilian youth and people. So वो experience जो है ना आपको train कर देता है, right?
So intuition बन जाती है basically.
So it is intuition. It is also not very. You don't have to write the points and start deliberating and all. Plus हर किस्म का सिचुएशन, अगर आपको तुरंत रिस्पॉन्ड करना है तो इंस्टिंक्ट है. अगर थोड़ा समय के लिए करना है तो देन यू हैव टाइम टू ऑल्सो कैरी आउट एनालिसिस एंड कंसिडर ऑप्शंस टू डू.
So, since we want to go to another different segment of the talk show now, sir, we will do some rapid fire.
एक घंटा हो चुका.
इट इज़ अ रैपिड फायर राउंड सर. इट्स अ
Sir,
रैपिड फायर.
we will ask you some questions, and as the name suggests, rapid fire questions होंगे sir. You will instantly answer.
या पूछो भाई.
So, sir, you're a front bencher or a back bencher?
I'm a backbencher, but I fight from the front foot. There's a difference between backbencher and front foot.
Sir, tea or a coffee?
Tea,
So, camouflage or olive green?
camouflage,
So, Siachen or Kashmir?
Siachen,
Bike or a bicycle?
bike.
Favorite army exercise? Favorite army exercise which you done in your whole tenure, which was your favorite one?
Yeah, I don't remember the name, but I did one in deserts, right? And in that I had to really walk 40 kilometers in a period of just about 24 hours. 20 go inside in exercise enemy territory, come back 20 into the heat of May in deserts in Rajasthan. And I remember by the time we came, and I was the senior most in age, I was a lieutenant colonel. I must have about 38 years of age. My officer who was walking with me had about 25, 26 years of age maybe, right? And the soldiers were all 25, 26. By the time I came, when you walk about 40 kilometers in deserts on dunes, your legs start shivering,
Yes, sir.
right? But it was just an exercise. And then, by the way, after having coming back, Did I have time to sleep, take bath, eat food? No, 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 no. We had carried out for reconnaissance. Immediately, we had to move with the battalion for a full night induction exercise. So the next sleep I got was after another 48 hours.
मतलब आराम
Right.
नहीं करने दिया.
So that is very clear as day event today to me. A very tough one.
So sir, which one is your favorite SF? Like as a if you which is the best SF जो आपको अभी तक लगता
9.
है? Mine. Right. Sir.
So now I will tell you few terms.
Because they have operated with me number of places.
Okay.
So that's why very close. Plus they are mountain and I love mountains. So for me, mountain operations, anybody who shoots with the mountains is close to me.
So now I will give you a term and you will have to give one word for that. Sir, stick leg.
Best.
Insas rifle.
Outdated.
Indian foreign policy.
Developing.
Srinagar.
I have really lived my life.
Right. Moving to the next segment, we have some pictures of you, sir. So we would like to explain.
सर आपको हम 5 to 6 पिक्चर्स दिखाएंगे जो हमें आपके ऑनलाइन दिखी.
Yeah.
सर आप उनकी बैक स्टोरी और जो कि ये काफी फेमस पिक्चर्स हैं, आप इनके बारे में बताइए कि इसके क्या हो रहा था उस टाइम पर, क्या ऐसा क्या
मुझे ही पता होना चाहिए वो पिक्चर क्या है.
सर, आपको देंगे
Okay, okay.
दिस पिक्चर.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I remember there was, this is I think after a contact operation. No, there is. I don't think I can see. This is a press briefing after a major operation I think we had done. One of my first operation, I think, in which 5 terrorists were killed, right? And I was not very fond of going out for giving press conferences after counter-terrorist operation because I thought this was not my realm. Counter-terrorist operation is for my company commanders, maximum till the GOC rank. But then there were 2 or 3 of which were very critical, in which I was ordered to give. This was again one of the orders was given to me that you will go because this is a very, very important operation of 5 terrorists, which happened, I think, in South Kashmir.
Next image.
Yeah, this is in UN. I had about 5 years service. This Lieutenant Steve, Lieutenant Navy ka tha ye, US.
US.
And Lieutenant means he's also captain. I was also captain. This is in Angkor Wat. And Angkor Wat, if you know, is the largest, oldest, one of the largest, oldest temple complexes in Cambodia. And me and Steve were responsible for all operations to establish peace in that location. Right? We never used to carry weapons. The regimes which are fighting against each other, very, very dangerous, right? They used to have mines in these areas. It was tough time, and possibly we were the only team who used to go out very often, and we were really appreciated in the environment. I must give a very quick anecdote. The UN was paying the Cambodian government forces, armed forces, KAPAF, I think Communist Party Armed Forces was the name of. So I had gone into one of those missions by chopper to start paying. They had about 150 or 200 people on payroll, actual on ground, but they had a list of 1,000, and they wanted to make 1,000, but this is all corruption money which was happening. So I wanted to see every man before giving the money to them, and they didn't have. So they threatened me and they said that next time when you come, and I was shown an anti-tank mine for you. So जब वो पे चल रही थी ना, उसमें उन्होंने फायरिंग वायरिंग कराई, रॉकेट शॉकेट कराया. मैंने बड़े फायर देखे थे. ठीक है, तो everybody was running and me, I was sitting and there was a Norwegian or Netherlands, I think Netherlands की टीम थी प्रोटेक्शन वाली मेरे साथ में. तो I kept on sitting and I said, यार ये सब ड्रामा नहीं चलेगा. Let's finish our job because I had come by a chopper and I had to go back again by the chopper. Next, actually, I was to go on leave after some time, and I did not know when was it, and my leave got sanctioned, and I went out. I went out for 10 days leave, and I was wanted to go for 9. My team leader compelled me to go for full 10 days. He said that you come back, I'll still give you a break. Don't worry, but you have done a great job. You may not get a chutti again. for a long time. So I went to Singapore, Bangkok, Thailand, and all these places on a tourism visit. My wife was joining me, and so I had gone with her.
That's it.
That one day extension saved my life. If I was not there, if I was there, I would have gone on a patrol in which my reliever who had come. So Steve was traveling with him in the front seat. There's a Chinese military observer sitting in the rear seat. There's an interpreter. And there's a Cameroonian officer who knew how to drive. We used to drive Land Cruisers,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, sir.
He was the one who was driving the vehicle. That tank mine blew under his wheels. The vehicle was broken into half piece. The driver died. Cameroonian officer died on spot. This guy had his entire stomach blown out. From the choppers lifted him from the site. They took him to the US base, operated. He survived barely. The Chinese,
survived.
he still survived. Right, he was lucky. You see, it hit the driver's side.
Yes, sir.
So these three people got survived, and the interpreter, the Cambodian guy, went through a trauma. His body went to a shock. He was on the bed for 1 month without very difficult to come out, and the Chinese sustained only a minor injuries. I have got the picture of that. Vehicle number is UN 907.
We still remember it.
I remember. I survived. I drove that vehicle a long time.
So this one,
Yeah, this is very iconic. This is General Dhillon.
even Dylan sir, he also shares it on his Instagram.
Yeah.
A lot
So
of
this is, we just came out from a seminar and lot of कश्मीरी यूथ. इससे भी ज़्यादा पॉपुलर एक और है जिसमें सारे बच्चे साथ में खड़े हुए हैं. आदित्य, सॉरी, व्हाट इज नेम, गर्ल्स नेम, Aarti Tikku is there. She's kept her hand on my shoulder, and General Dhillon is sitting behind. And there's a front photograph which is quite viral. So this is after a seminar.
So your, as you said, so pehle, bullet.
Bullet,
Bullet.
Chinar 1.
Yes, sir, Chinav one.
Yeah, so these are all youngsters. This is part
So-
of this book.
We wanted to ask one question.
ये सारे ना, ये है picture.
Yeah.
This is one of the pictures,
Yes, sir.
So these are all my company commanders. I've had terrific company commanders.
So we
So
wanted
this
to
is-
ask one more question. कि सर आरआर के अंदर ऑफिसर्स दाढ़ी और बहुत लंबे लंबे.
I used to encourage. So one is most of the operations when they are happening in the jungles, it also takes some time the terrorists to recognize ये हमारा है कि फौजी है. One is that. Same as in the environment, because civilian kids, youth, all have beards, grown hair. So if you have to actually interact with them, you need to look. If you go clean shaven and all, there's a barrier. But the moment you are like this, there is a brotherhood which forms.
Yes, sir.
I used to encourage people to have. Yeah, this is on a post actually. I don't know how it got captured. I just landed. The chopper was about taking off, and I was watching because you don't have time.
So this is your mobile?
This is on mobile. I'm just watching on the mobile
Such a
some
cool
message.
picture it is.
Huh?
It's a very cool picture, sir.
Yeah, it's a very good picture. Yeah,
So where are you in this?
this is on some line of control location I had gone to visit.
So this is the most.
Yeah,
most
this.
This is like everywhere.
By the way, this photograph is supposed to be IPR protected. This has been taken by some guy. I was in Baramulla when we were conducting an event for special children. We had opened a school for them, and that was the first inauguration ceremony of the renovation of that area which was done. And I was sitting, I don't know how this chap got, but this went viral. इसके ऊपर एक photograph in which I'm sitting with a child, a
Sir, वो
special
अभी
child.
है.
Yeah, so this is the one. Right.
Yeah.
So she's a young girl, she's trying to tell me a story. And I'm pretty patient with children. Enjoy their company. So it just came out quite natural. I also saw it only when it was there on the media.
Yeah. So since we are done with this one, so we wanted to do one type of a questionnaire. Google most searched questions on you.
Top Google searches.
Top Google searches. When you search Lieutenant General D.P. Pandey, what are the most recent searches or most asked? So we have a questionnaire. She will pull off the tab for you and you just have to answer it. You have to read the question first and then answer it.
Which I don't know, huh?
इस पे है क्या? Yeah.
That's,
What major awards has Lieutenant General D.P. Pandey received?
Yes.
तो क्या बताना है?
सर ये गूगल क्वेश्चन है सर, आपको जैसे परसीव कर रहे हैं
सर जो लोग सर्च करते हैं
ये सर आपके बारे में सबसे ज्यादा
टॉप
सर्च
सर्च
क्वेश्चन।
अच्छा, I don't
हमने
know.
नहीं सर, ये इन जनरल इंडिया में जो क्वेश्चन सर्च करते हैं आपका नाम लिखते यही आता है।
अच्छा, okay.
तो
यस
आपको
पीपल
क्या
वांट्स टू नो सर
तो वो हमें भी नहीं मालूम क्या मतलब है, आप बताइए।
नहीं, तो I have got PVSM, UISM,
Yes.
AVSM, VSM, and couple of other smaller awards. Essentially, I got my VSM when I was heading the Director of Foreign Division, Military Foreign Intelligence Foreign Division in Army Headquarters, which is a slightly very complicated. If I start explaining, it will take you time, but it deals with everything which is foreign for the military part of terms of engagements and all, and very very powerful appointment. I did possibly pretty well, and therefore I got the Vishwas Seva Medal Award from the chief for this. It is the MOD award actually,
Yeah.
Ministry of Defence Award. But then I got my AVSM when I was a GOC of Kilo Force. Possibly a largest number of kills at that point of time when I was there. We had just taken over after Burhan Wani when Patrao Shatra was the norm. We were able to control the situation. Very little, hardly any civilian deaths on my watch, and possibly one of the least number of soldiers died on my watch. So I think one deserved that. Possibly it was given. It was the hard work of everybody else. You see, what happens is the award is given to a leader, but people who actually work on the ground are your soldiers and all. While everybody cannot be recognized, the leader gets recognized for the hard work of everybody, which is the job of a leader to harmonize that work, right? So it's not so easy to do both.
Next one.
Yeah. So was the UISM for 15 core and then PVSM for my service to the nation. Yeah, National Defence Academy course is my 67th course, National Defence Academy.
So you're from 67.
67.
Yes,
I'm
sir,
from
which-
Delta Squadron.
Delta
Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my National Defence Academy tie today.
And so your cuffling is
Yeah.
also.
The cuffling is of Chinar Corps. It's two very close things to my heart. Right?
Yes,
67 NDA. I'm from Delta Squadron. And I'm also wearing my Chinar Corps tie and, cufflink and my very, very close to me. Yeah. Yeah, so book on reflection on strategy is about, I've written a number of papers and articles for the last about 15, 20 years. But this consists of those important papers which talk of, to make strategy in an AC room is very easy,
Yes.
right? But when you start rolling it out in the sun and cold, then you realize the challenges which happen. So I have written from the practitioner's perspective that how an advice that you may formulate a strategy, but how can you roll it out on the ground, making a couple of examples. So these articles are some in which I have done it personally, and some articles and papers are about what US strategy options are for handling Iran. So actually look at, when you read that article, you realize what I have written has made sense, has been rolled out by the Americans. And this I wrote when I was doing my master's in grand strategy in US in Washington. There's another paper which I wrote was strategy as restraint as a strategy, right? Again in US with Kargil as an example. It had wide publication. It was published in one of their very prominent Small Wars Journal. It was published there. So these were two articles. Then I wrote an article somewhere later on Al Qaeda, informational element of using it as a power. I have given a talk to EU, India 1.5 track 2, this thing about extremism, combating extremism through digital medium, to that effect. So that article is there. I've written an article on Operation Sindoor that was our military and political objectives met. Right. So similarly, these articles are compilation which will give an insight to a junior, a youth, also to a senior policymaker, and everywhere I've given recommendations. That what are your recommendations for you to take home? So this is that book. Yeah, reflection on strategy. So this idea actually came to me to compile all this book was through Colonel Ajay Rana, who wrote a book on me, the first one, Soldiering with Passion.
Yes, sir.
So he was the one who told me, sir, why don't you compile it and put it out book? Because articles people read and thereafter forget, but then book one
Yeah.
keeps
Forever.
as a reference point. No, I am not an IPL
You
guy. I
watch
don't watch.
football?
Yeah, I watch football. I love to watch
So which
hockey.
is your favorite
Favorite player?
player and your favorite club?
Yeah, I think no, I'm not into clubs, but surely you have to compete between Messi and Ronaldo.
So
you know.
Messi or Ronaldo, sir?
Choose
Yeah,
So choose one.
one.
very difficult to choose.
So you have to
Yeah,
go.
both. Yeah, I will go for Ronaldo because
Alright, sir.
yeah,
Hmm.
they're all very time-consuming exercise, you know. So I don't find frankly time for it. Yeah, DP is my nickname. Everybody calls
So
me DP.
like other officers, they get nickname from the unit. Did you have any nickname?
No, I don't know. Yeah, I think there is some nickname. Which when I was a BGS in 10 Corps in Batinda, the colonels had a nickname for me, which I'm not sure. It is somewhere in the book. मेरे को याद नहीं है अभी, है ना?
Alright,
Yeah,
sir.
but DP is my nickname, which is there from. Yeah, favorite movies are many, but
If you
I
had
can.
to choose one for your life.
Yeah,
If you
Hakikat
could
I will
watch it.
watch.
All-time
Hakikat,
favorite.
Hakikat.
Hakikat. And for English,
Hmm.
Hollywood.
Hollywood में I think I can go for now this Tom Cruise की
Top Gun.
Mission
Top
Impossible.
Gun.
Top Gun. Yeah.
yeah.
So the new one or the old one?
Actually, old one has got his own old charm.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess I'll go for that. Yeah, my favorite color is steel grey.
Steel
Steel
grey.
grey.
So why
Steel grey.
so exact?
Steel grey.
I don't know why, but just sometimes you don't have answers for everything. But steel grey is something I always had my cars
Bikes.
or steel grey, the bikes also. But then of course when you don't have my present car is white because they didn't have a make in that. But steel grey is my favorite. Yeah. First posting was in Umroi, Kent, Shillong. I
Shillong.
stayed there for about 3 months, and thereafter we moved to East Sikkim to the Chinese border. Umroi, Kent. My diet, I eat everything.
So
ठीक
what
है,
is-
as long as
what is your
vegetarian.
favorite food,
I
your
will love
least
to have
favorite?
samosa, but otherwise, chawal dal, rajma chawal.
That's your least favorite.
Huh?
Least.
No, I don't think I got any least
Like,
favorite.
you wouldn't choose that over any.
No, I don't. I can eat anything. I can eat your head. I'm pretty happy eating anything. And if my wife cooks, I don't know, she has got a smart way of cooking, वो देसी घी डाल के खाना बना दो तो
Yeah.
सब अच्छा होता
So
है.
अच्छा होता है.
Yeah, I've had many pets actually. But the last one was Leo, who stayed with us for 15 years. He passed away on 8th August. I think he gave a lot of love and comfort to us.
So what was the breed?
It is a Labrador.
Sir, as we are wrapping up this interview, what's your retirement plan? And we want to know about your book a little more.
Yeah, so book to yaar tum पढ़ लेना. It'll be.
And sir, one more thing,
हाँ.
a message to the youth of
Yeah.
this country.
So first thing I'll just quickly say about my retirement plan. I'm doing what I love to do.
Yes.
Spreading the message of positivity, hope to youth. That's my this thing. Keep on talking about leadership, which is possibly a thing which everybody needs to know. I may have succeeded or not succeeded, but I've got a experience which I can spread, starting from corporate to school to colleges to this thing. Keep on writing as far as possible on my experiences and contemporary issues. I hope God allows me that power of my pen to keep on writing, because I like to write what I feel is right from my perspective, right? And I don't care about views of other. Be outspoken the way one is, and stay busy all the time. I think that's my. I will not like to work for some corporate world and all, but yes, I'll continue to work for the society, for the nation, in whichever form I can. Right. So this podcast is again a small effort to work for the society for reaching out and telling people about the journey of life. Right. So there are experiences which I can share, but most importantly for youth and Gen Z, I will leave a message is that uh, wait for your time. Always have hope. Don't give up easy, because life is not today and tomorrow. Life is a cross country marathon, long distance. Because what may be very, very important today, which breaks your heart, may become very, very irrelevant after few days
Yes, sir.
or a year. Right? In a journey of 50, 60, 70, 80 years, a loss of a year or 2 years in your academic environment or in your career doesn't make a difference. Right? So, time and again, I get those messages that they are disheartened, disillusioned, number nahi achhe aaye. I have not succeeded in this, my SSB was not cracked. I have appeared for UPSC examination 5 times or 4 times. How should I look into my father's face and tell him कि मैं फेल हो गया, मुझसे नहीं होगा? Embrace the truth. Speak today what is right. Once you speak, that paplu is out from your, that burden is off your shoulder, right? You don't have to start covering up with layers of lies, looking here and covering this thing. Eventually, if you're a child of your parent, they will accept what you are. If you're worthy of being a boyfriend of a girlfriend of your friend, right? It is best that they accept you what you are. Don't try and create a facade or be part of the society because the society wants you to be in which, because let's say if your friend circle only drinks beer or wants to smoke or take a drag, पढ़ने में आसान है रात को, but you see, you have to choose your own path. It's very easy to take actions in which you are trying to be proving part of a group or a peer pressure. But that peer pressure, the peer will fade away after a year. That peer is today, but after a year you will have a different peer. So how many peers are you going to try to align? Have principles, have thoughts, have your own personality, which is righteous, which is principled, which is long term, rather than shift with every changing friend or environment. That will make you a rock solid girl or a boy in the future.
So I have one question for you. Like, as we are youth, so we do overthinking a lot, like decision making, बहुत difficulty होती है. So any like solution to that, like from your side?
So look, if you see my DP, I write no regret, no fear. That is my tagline for life. पहली बात है डिसीजन लेना चाहिए, छोटा छोटा भी डिसीजन लेना चाहिए. मैं नहीं, आई विल नॉट हैव कॉफ़ी, आई विल नॉट हैव बर्गर टुडे, आई विल नॉट हैव अ ब्रेकफास्ट टुडे, आई विल हैव अ ब्रेकफास्ट टुडे. These are all decisions you must take. Practice small to achieve big, right? But when you're taking these decisions of so-called life decisions, you have to also understand that you are taking that decision based on information which is available to you today. If you procrastinate and wait for another 6 months to take a decision, right? That also is a decision you have taken to procrastinate. But is it right or wrong is up to you. You must take a decision to delay or take an action. But then having missed the bus because you took 6 months, you waited 6 months and therefore that opportunity is lost, then you must not dwell upon it. It was your choice, your decision to wait for more time, because the world doesn't belong to the past, it starts today. So आपने आज की सोच के चलना है. आज के पास क्या है खबर, उसके ऊपर आपने एक्शन लेना है. बट एक्ट, ऑलवेज ट्राई एंड टेक योर decisions. You may take information from everybody else, but don't take decisions what everybody else is telling you to take. You must take information. होना चाहिए नहीं होना चाहिए. Plus positive negative क्या है? I also do a small action. I always write down on a piece of paper pros cons, and then I decide that इसमें से क्या चीज़ मैं compromise कर सकता हूँ और क्या नहीं compromise कर सकता हूँ, right? And then I take a call. Okay, for me my health is important, but this job may get me a lakh more if I travel to get this thing. So I have to now decide, is health more important, rest more important, or money is more important? If I feel rest is important, I take a decision. But then I can't regret. यार वो पैसा आया होता तो कितना अच्छा होता. So I have got offers today, for example, to work for corporate worlds. But I have taken a call that I will not work for corporate. Should I change the decision after 5 years or 2 years, 3 years and then say कि काश पहले ले लिया होता तो मुझे और कितना पैसा होता? We can always do, na? But then I have to also see that I did not take the decision. I should not look back. Never ever look back. But you must take a decision. You have to practice small. In a group of people, you must take a decision. आज वहाँ चलते हैं. And you must have a logic to back it. So, but somebody tells you कि यार ये तेरा logic गलत है, then you should also have the decision capacity to change that decision of yours. Right? You may look at it as flip-flop है. But then if you're getting a better information and your friend tells you कि यार वहाँ जाने का कोई फ़ायदा नहीं, आज तो बंद होगा, पर तुमने वो डिसीजन लिया था बंद होगा, हम फिर भी जाएंगे तो गलत. So you must be able to change it and you should be able to reconcile. Right? Don't overthink.
So,
Life is not about overthinking. Life is about living today. Overthink करके कुछ नहीं मिलना. ठीक है? किताब पढ़ो, मूवी देखो, ऑनलाइन गेमिंग करना है वो करो. You want to have do something wrong, do something wrong. But don't overthink about it. But you should know what are the challenges that happen. You've done something wrong. You want to tell your किसको बताना है? The best person to tell is your parent. They may not like or like, but they are theirs for lifetime. Your friends will come and go. Your spouses will come and go. But the people who will always be beside you are your parents. They may hate you for your actions, but yet they have got no choice. You will be always their daughter. Have their strength. Don't overthink. Always share. बात करो. बात करने से क्या है, overthinking खत्म हो जाती है. मगर सोचते रहोगे तो कोई फायदा नहीं है. Pick up a telephone, call a friend, make friends, encourage people. वो नहीं सुनना चाहता तो भी सुना दो. हाँ, तुम्हारा क्या जाता है? So वो overthinking खत्म हो जाती है. I don't know if I've answered you. क्या बोलो?
So sir, there were some questions from our followers.
बस ना.
Sir, it was 4 questions.
यार देख अभी देख.
So 2 questions.
I had to reach 12. ठीक है.
Right. Sir. So 2
चल
questions.
बताओ, दो बताओ.
Sir, Simran XPVT _ asks, what is your say on increase in competition nowadays? Are SSBs 100% transparent? You can answer in 1 to 2 lines.
Yeah, SSBs are 100% transparent. How can I say it is not, right? But there will always be faults in a system. There will always be a chap who's not fit may get through. But it can't happen that 100% chaps who are not fit will get through. Second is, when there's a competition, it doesn't mean that you